Don't forget to go to ashkicking.com for pound the best home health and beauty fragrance products.
Hi, I'm Brianna.
And I'm Akira.
And you're watching
Dontaesboxingnation.
So anyway,
ain't nobody worrying about Jeff Horn overseas. You know? It's real talk. So, you know, a lot of boxing people I've been throwing around the Miss Cleo factor. They like to predict the future. You know, they like to really know what's happening before it's really happening. He's got to fight. I have to come back. I would like to get some momentum going. But real talk, later next year, you know, I just unified, so going after another belt later next year is a little bit more in the works. If it manifests in late 18, early 19, we don't have it. We're not really talking about that. I've never seen a contract with Errol Spence's name on it, and I know he hasn't seen a contract with my name on it. You know, so that's just real talk for you guys who like to talk about the future of boxing. That's just some real talk from me, and it's direct. It's real information, but I look forward, for those who know who Keith One Time Thurman truly is, I'm the same. I look forward to continuing my legacy and dominating the welterweight division. So I congratulate Errol Spence for that victory overseas. You know, he brought it back, boy. That was real. That was a great performance. Two world-class fighters, and Errol, he showed that he was the better man. So the thing that I love is that when we go toe-to-toe, you know, it's going to be the greatest American fighter. We're both American fighters. I competed in the 2007 Olympic trials. He competed in the Olympic Games. You know, we both have extensive amateur backgrounds, and this is what we were bred for. You know, so those who think like, you know, talking this and that, these people don't want to fight each other. This is the fight life. This is what we live, you know. But we will do a little bit of business. I will be smart. I'm not jumping back in the ring after an injury, going after another champion. When we go toe-to-toe, it will be the right moment, I believe, for the both of us. And that's what I got to say.
Spence, what venues are being considered for the Lamont fight?
Either the Barclays Center or somewhere in the West Coast. I don't know yet.
Possibly on the West Coast?
It could be.
And what part of January you think?
Mid-January.
And why Peterson, did he give up his belt to fight you? Was that a strategy of his or something?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't talked to him, but he wanted to fight another, world champion. That's the guy who stepped up and said he'll take the fight. So that's the guy who said he's a top 5 welterweight.
Errol over here.
How's it going, Errol?
Errol, you're going to fight Peterson next. I'm sure you've seen Lamont fight over the years. He's been one of the top guys, both at junior welterweight, also at welterweight. Can you just give you your scouting report on what you think about him in the ring? He's been a little bit inactive, but he's certainly proven himself to be a quality contender, champion over the years.
He's a hell of a fighter. He's somebody that I looked up to as an amateur. He's somebody I sparred in the amateurs and learned a lot from. I was had a training camp with him at the Olympic Training Center. He gave me, different stuff and different advice, and how to punch and how to slow down my punches and how to speed them up. So, he's a guy that I really look up to. And, he's one of my favorite fighters. He's a guy to fight anybody. I never known him to, duck a fight or say no to a fight. He always fought the best, like Luca Matisse, say Tim Bradley, all these tough names, fought Victor Ortiz. So, I'm looking forward. Lamont has true grit. He's a real fighter. He's a guy that gives it all and has a big heart. So I see it as being a great fight for him.
Keith over here. Keith. I know you said there's no opponent as of yet for your next fight. Are you gonna look towards the winner of the Sean Porter Adrian Granado's fight as a possible opponent, seeing that Sean's kind of fought his way into contendership and beating Andre Berto earlier this year?
Even with, I know how eager Sean wants to get back in the ring with me and do the rematch, but I don't think that I'll be taking that level of a fight coming off of my injury. I think we're going to get just a welcome back fight. Throw the arm around, test it out, have a good camp, injury-free camp, then take the momentum from that, and there can possibly we can get in the mix with Sean after that. I'd be surprised if that's the first name coming back. You know, I mean, you're talking about a whiplash accident that I experienced in 2017, then having recovering from that, having an 8-week training camp, fighting Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, you know, surgery, and then coming back and fighting Sean Porter. So, I mean, that's a dog after a dog after a dog. You know what I mean? So, we might not run that deep when we jump right back into the sport, but you best believe when I brush the dust off, that we'll get moving and get right back to work against top quality fighters in the welterweight division.
Is Sean Porter next for you, or you're not sure?
No, I don't believe so. He obviously can be in the near future. He is one of the fighters I believe that deserves the rematch. I believe the fans here that came would come again and definitely support that show. It was nominated Fight of the Year. So simple business to make that rematch happen. I'm not against it, but I just don't see that manifesting for my comeback.
Right here. The first question is for Errol. Since you're fighting in January, you've been inactive, no fault of your own. But do you see 2018 being a year of 3 fights?
Definitely. You know, I talked to my manager about that, about being more active, and you know, I felt like I'd come back this year, but come back next year, and it looks like I probably will be fighting 3 times next year.
Okay. And this question is for Keith. So you have to do a training camp, and that's going to be about 8 weeks. So it's realistic to say that you're going to be back in, like you said, late February, about March or so.
Yes.
So you're going to be fighting someone, it's guaranteed in the top 15 of either WBC or WBA, correct?
That should be correct, yes, sir. Mm-hmm. We're not, like I said, we're not looking at anybody in particular right now. I'm still kind of focused on my rehab for the next 4 to 6 weeks. That's pretty much what's on my mind. But from there, eventually we'll start seeing what manifests through our team out here.
I have a follow-up for Errol. Before your fight with Peterson, I guess, was put together, there was a lot of conversation, a lot of discussion that you got offered a promotion contract by Golden Boy, perhaps an opportunity to fight Miguel Cotto in what would be his, what he says would be his final fight coming up in December. Can you just give your side of that? Was that offer made? What were your thoughts about it, and what was the reason why you elected to make the decision that you did?
Yes, the offer was made from Golden Boy. I mean, everybody's been trying to get me. I mean, every promoter, you name them, been trying to get me since I turned pro. And, you know, I just declined it. I don't want a promoter right now. I feel like I'm starting my own promotion company probably later next year and do my own thing. I mean, I'm already fighting on the network. I'm already main event. I'm already getting great money, so I don't see what, you know, a promoter can offer me.
Errol, you have a history of beating guys worse than other guys that beat them. You know, Mark Peterson was knocked out, I guess, in the 3rd round by Matisse, with the distance with Danny Garcia, the fight some people thought he won. You know, and he lost, you know, to Tim Bradley. Your thoughts on how you hope to look against him?
I'm gonna look a lot sharper than the Kelbrook fight. You know, Lamont, he's a tricky fighter. He's been around the block, so you know he's tricky. He does a lot of cagey, vetting things, and I'm looking to get a lot of experience in that fight. You know, I'm still a young fighter. I'm still young in my career. This is only my 5th year, so I'm just looking to get a lot of experience in that fight. I don't know if I'm gonna stop him early. I don't know if I'm gonna stop him late, but we're gonna train for 12 hard rounds. Because I know Lamont always comes in shape. He always comes ready to fight.
What are your thoughts right now, sitting, you know, in such close proximity with Keith, you know, in front of us, knowing that this fight could be the fight that he was saying, you know, potentially a Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hearns type of fight, you know, in this era, and you, Keith, could you answer the question also?
I mean, my thoughts been what it's been since I was 15-0 when I said, you know, I'll fight Keith Thurman, anybody in the top 5. I mean, like he said, he gotta wait and get ready, and you know, gotta go through rehab. But I'm ready when he is. And I'm always ready, so it don't matter if it's the 1st quarter or it's 2nd quarter or if it's next year. You know, I'm gonna be ready. I'm always ready to fight the best. You know, I have a goal, I have a dream to be the undisputed welterweight champion of the world, and I'm not gonna let anybody stop me from that path. So, this is the fight that I've been wanting with Keith Thurman for the longest. So he been making excuses, said that, I haven't proved myself, and win the world title, said he's gonna bust my bubble. So, I'm waiting to find out what he's gonna do.
I have a question for everybody on the dais, starting with Keith and Errol.
Hold up, my man. Hold up. I'm supposed to retort.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay, man. I look forward to the fight. I look forward to great competition, and Errol is that. He's great competition. My motto stayed the same. I'm not afraid to let it go. If you can beat me, beat me. Because when I train and when I fight, I give it my best. And even if you start getting at me, it just makes me dig. A lot of people don't understand what it's like to live the life of a fighter. But I'm that true warrior, I remember when I was coming up and Max Kellerman, I believe it was, some TV guy asked me backstage, what's gonna happen the day that you get hit? And I looked at him like, you ain't never seen me get hit. I was sparring world champions when I was 14, 15, 16 years old. I always say, I used to get my ass whooped, so now I have the right to whoop ass, It was a long road to be where I am today, to have the knowledge that I have about the sport of boxing. I'm definitely a student of the game. Errol too, he's a student of the game. Tremendous fighter, I'm a tremendous fighter. And great competition, real great competition. I tell people this every once in a while, man. There's nothing more satisfying in life, including sex, all right? There ain't nothing, all right? I'm just a real one, okay? There ain't nothing more satisfying than a good motherfucking fight. There's a level of adrenaline that your body produces. Natural, hormonal, natural instincts, right? Like, it's just different, man. It's just different. I like the blood flowing, I like the pump. I like being in danger. I like the threat. I like being in danger, and a lot of fighters don't put me in danger. A few fighters have put me in danger, and I know he's gonna be training really hard trying to put me in danger, But I live for that, and I want to rise to the occasion and show them what the truth really looks like. So, at the end of the day, man, this is a fight that you guys have been talking about. You won't stop talking about, and you should keep talking about it, because when it manifests, when it goes down, it will be one of the best fights of this generation. As long as he stays at the top, does his job, I stay at the top and do my job, but I don't really see nobody stopping me.
Hey, Keith.
Question
Go
for
ahead.
everybody on the dais, starting with Keith and Errol. What are your feelings about the issue of athletes standing for the national anthem?
I just got back into America, so I'm going to be real simple and say no comment.
Errol?
I don't see it as a disrespect to the soldiers. It's more of a, standing up for the rights. He's basically doing that because, you have young, black men, minority men getting gunned down and killed in the streets, and it's no justice for it. So that's why, Kaepernick did what he did. I think it's all getting blown out of proportion, everybody having their different views on things, but when you get down to the root of it, can you say, is he lying? You look at the stats and look at the statistics of what's going on in America. It's true what he's saying. So, I don't see nothing wrong with it at all. He's not disrespecting the soldiers. He even said it, he respects the soldiers. I respect the soldiers. I respect them for defending this country. So, I'm with it.
Lou?
Hey, Keith, let me ask you, after you have your welcome...
Hold on, Lou. I think the reason that soldiers go to war is so that people have the right to free speech and free expression, and I know veterans who have said that they went to war and fought so that people could kneel and make a statement, and I have no issue with it. I think it's someone's conscience that dictates that, and their freedom of expression.
Will you support it?
Yeah.
And Stephen?
Well, on that issue, I think there are two disappointing aspects to, in my opinion. One is that we're no longer having a conversation about it. We have become so divided on this issue that it's now about military and who's patriotic, and that never was what Colin Kaepernick set out to do. So we're not even engaging in a conversation between two groups with different opinions. One group is talking about inequalities and social justice. Another group is talking about whether, playing the national anthem and what's appropriate for as a sign of respect before it. So the conversation is not there. And I think the second disappointing part is part of the reason why the conversation isn't there, is that we have a president who, instead of unifying, as leaders are supposed to do, he has chosen to prey upon this and really deepen the divide and pander to certain base instincts. So it's candidly where the issue is right now is rather depressing, because I don't see progress being made. It's just getting worse.
What I say? I also think that the guy that did 3 terms, towards the duty in Afghanistan, on the Pittsburgh Steelers, who elected to come out and stand, had a right to do that too, and shouldn't have been shamed for doing that either. So, I have my own opinion, but I think this is all about being what America's supposed to be. It's freedom. It's what people go to war for. It's what they fight for, and equality. And I think I agree with Stephen that the terms of engagement have to change in terms of discussion and communication, and that probably starts with the problems we have with the guy leaving the country. So, the end of politics.
Good stuff. Hey, Keith Thurman, after you have your welcome back fight, you kind of alluded to it, but what would you say would be the biggest fight for you at the welterweight division, when you're ready and you feel 100%? And who do you feel would be like your toughest competition, your Sugar Ray Leonard, your Hagler type of opponent?
Well, one thing that I was very excited about, roughly somewhere about maybe 2 years ago, or maybe just even a year ago, was the undefeated champions at welterweight. Kell Brook got beat by Triple G. That messed up everything. He was still an undefeated welterweight. I kept saying that until Errol really put that L in his backpack for him. So now he walks around with that. We had Danny Garcia as an undefeated welterweight. I handled that. So we're running out of undefeated welterweights. There's great competition, hands down, in the welterweight division. But, like I said, ain't nobody thinking about that Jeff Horn boy, But EJ and myself, to me, we're the only real dogs left. So when we get in, when we get in the ring together, it should be elevated, and the stakes that are on the line, what it means for the welterweight division. Real talk, everybody knows there's no Floyd Mayweather. Real talk, everybody knows there's no Manny Pacquiao. Real talk, everybody thinks they know who the real champion is. But real talk is, the king of the welterweight division will manifest within 1 to 2 years. That's real talk. And it happens by unifying these belts, which is not a crazy leap. It's not something that we cannot achieve. It's tangible. You can reach out and grab it. We can make these fights happen. So for me, I'm excited to be at the top. This is my dream. I remember when I was young, we used to be on before Facebook. What was MySpace, right? Remember that, right? It was MySpace. I'm old enough to act like we got to go back in time to remember things now. But MySpace, I put up on my little headliner. At first, I had some dirty stuff that I had to take down, but Had to do something that maybe that mama could appreciate. So I put living a dream. I remember living a dream because my life was boxing, and boxing is my dream, and I get to live it, and now I'm champion. But I wanted 1 belt. I want 2 belts. I want 3 belts. I want to be the best welterweight in the welterweight division. The welterweight division has immense history, tremendous history, and I'm just doing my best to be a part of that history.
What's going on, guys? I will be at the Pro-Am show this Sunday, where they're going to be honoring your boy Dontaesboxingnation an award along with Ellie Setback and Michelle Phelps. It's a great event. They're going to have professional fights and amateur fights, and Flavor Flav is going to be hosting it. A lot of celebrities, Eddie Murphy, and more. So if you guys are out there in California next Sunday, come check us out.
This is Bobby, and you're watching Dontaesboxingnation.